Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ET Considers Everything podcast for Thursday, June 30th, 2016. On today's show, we'll be talking about Michael Phelps making it to his fifth Olympic Games. We'll also be talking about the Bridgestone Invitational, which gets underway today from Firestone Country Club in Akron, Ohio. We'll also be talking about NFL free agency. Andrew Luck just signed a very lucrative contract with the Indianapolis Colts. We'll get the details on that later. Also, we'll be talking about NBA free agency. We'll be talking about MLB headlines and much, much more. So, without further ado, let's get going with today's ET Considers Everything podcast. First news story I want to talk about today is Michael Phelps. He has qualified for his fifth straight Olympic Games, becoming the first male American swimmer to do so. He qualified in the 200-meter individual medley, finishing first in that event last night at the Olympic trials. A great feat for Michael Phelps, who is looking to become one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated athlete in Olympic Games history. Next story I would like to talk about is the Bridgestone Invitational, which gets underway today from Firestone Country Club in Akron, Ohio. Defending U.S. Open champion Dustin Johnson, who won the event 2 weeks ago at Oakmont Country Club at -4, is back in tournament contention this week and had a press conference yesterday. He reflected back on winning the U.S. Open for the very first time and said it was an experience that was unforgettable. Winning your first major is something that not a lot of players will get the chance to do, and it's something that I have absolutely worked my entire life for. And now my children and my wife can say that I am a major champion and I won our national championship. It's one of the greatest feats that anybody could ever accomplish, and Dustin Johnson is a member of an elite club now. Moving on, we'll talk about NFL free agency news. In the news last night, Andrew Luck signed a 5-year, $123 million contract extension with the Indianapolis Colts, $87 million of that which is guaranteed, making him the highest paid athlete in the National Football League as far as quarterbacks are concerned and as far as all of the players are concerned by $22 million. Andrew Luck looks to stay healthy this year for the Indianapolis Colts and will try to lead them back to the playoffs for the first time in 2 years. MLB news from last night: the Chicago Cubs defeated the Cincinnati Reds to extend their MLB best winning percentage up. They now have 51 wins on the season, and they have had a fantastic season so far to this point, and are very much so looking poised to be the favorites going into the MLB playoffs coming up in October. NBA free agency news from yesterday: Kevin Durant and his teams have decided to hold meetings still. He has met with the Golden State Warriors, the San Antonio Spurs, the New York Knicks, the Washington Wizards, which he has declined to take that option. He has decided that he will not go to the Washington Wizards. He's also been in talks with the LA Clippers, the Miami Heat, and of course his hometown team right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Sources close to the situation are saying that he will sign a 1-year contract to stay in Oklahoma City with Russell Westbrook and to try to win an NBA championship there before moving on in NBA free agency next year, where the salary cap will be at $115 million. And we have some tennis news to report to you today from Wimbledon. Last night we had Serena Williams and Andy Murray move on in the first round of the Wimbledon Championships. We also had Novak Djokovic and Agnieszka Radwanska, that's a mouthful to say, to win their second round matches and move on to the third round of the Wimbledon Championships. A little matches had to be played last night under the roof at center court at Wimbledon due to all the rain in London yesterday. In NASCAR news, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series will be at Daytona this weekend, as Tony Stewart will look to win his second straight race in a row, coming off a huge victory last week at Sonoma winning his first race in 84 races of streak that stretched back all the way to June of 2013. He will look to capitalize and go for his second straight win of the season and try to get back up into the top 30 in points by the time the regular season of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season ends, to try and qualify for the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series championship. In soccer news, the European Championship quarterfinals gets underway today as Poland will take on Portugal from France. Coverage of that match will begin at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2, with the match beginning at 3 o'clock. Those two have great matches together. It should be a wonderful match between two of the great strikers of the game, Cristiano Ronaldo and Robert Lewandowski. Should be an awesome match there. Look forward to seeing who moves on in that quarterfinal matchup. We have three more quarterfinal matchups coming up in the European Championships over the next 4 days. On Friday, it will be Belgium taking on Wales. On Saturday, it will be Germany taking on Italy. And on Sunday, it will be France taking on the surprise of the tournament, the underdog story that has made it all the way to the quarterfinals, Iceland. It's been a great tournament so far, ladies and gentlemen, and I look forward to seeing how the quarterfinals shape up and what 4 teams make the semifinals of the European Championships. Before I end this podcast today, I would like to take the time to make well wishes to all the people that were involved last night at the terrorist attacks in Istanbul, Turkey. Our thoughts and prayers are with those folks, and we definitely need to be thankful for our lives today, ladies and gentlemen, because we have a lot to live for, and we very much need to take things for granted and be here and be happy that we are living in one of the greatest countries in the world, if not the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. Also, we need to continue to say prayers for the people up in West Virginia with all the horrendous flooding that took place over the past week. We definitely need to have those folks on our minds and definitely look over them today, no doubt about it, because a lot of bad stuff has been happening up there, and hopefully things can be recuperated. The Greenbrier Classic on the PGA Tour was canceled due to all the heavy flooding. And as I mentioned in an earlier podcast, I believe the purse of that tournament should be donated to flood disaster relief efforts throughout the state of West Virginia during this tough time. And it's been a very rough time for that state. We definitely need to be thankful and be very appreciative for all the folks that are helping up there in West Virginia. And that's going to do it for this edition of the ET Considers Everything podcast for Thursday, June 30th, 2016. If y'all don't mind, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel ET Considers Everything, and as always, I'll give you updates to when I have everything in order. For now, this is ET Eric Tyler Mullins reporting from Pound, Virginia. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for subscribing to the channel.